Hey, how's it going? Welcome to our recap of the Mandalorian Season 2 premiere episode. I am Jordan Anderson, aka Jordan the Hutt, and I'm joined by my co-host Saul.
Han Solo.
Yes, yes, Han Solo. So, yep, awesome. So, yeah, basically what we're going to do is we're going to be breaking down all the episodes every single week for you, and just giving you some recap. There'll be some spoilers, so we'll definitely throw up the little spoiler alert and let you know when we're going to talk spoilers. So if you haven't seen it yet, you may want to tune out for that section, but we'll let you know. But yeah, so how you doing, Saul? How's your day?
Doing pretty well. Goes I've seen the episode twice already. Goes I started watching it at home getting ready for work, and then the rest of the first time watching it, and then the second time watching it was on my phone at work. So I'm looking forward to actually seeing it like on my TV to see what I've missed.
Yep. Yeah, it kind of helps just to have it on like a big screen. You can catch all the little details in the background, get some a little bit better sound, that kind of stuff. So yep.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, for me, I'm just glad that I started a new job. So I'm actually able to film during the week now. Before I didn't have time to do it. So this is awesome. So I don't have to just film just on like Saturday, Sunday. So yeah, but yeah, like I absolutely love this episode. For me, actually I want to start with a question for you. So who is your favorite Star Wars character? Like at all of Star Wars? I'm just talking
that's so hard. That's
for me,
so
I definitely
hard.
know who my top two is, and one of them is from the Mandalorian. So
if I have to go, probably Leia.
Yeah.
Goes, and then probably also Padme. So, and I think they're kind of like on equal grounds for me because my introduction to Star Wars was actually Attack of the Clones.
Okay.
So I was born in 1994. So Phantom Menace came out when I was 5, but I guess my parents thought I was too young, so I actually didn't see Phantom Menace in theaters. I saw Attack of the Clones was the first Star Wars movie I ever saw. But what was funny is after seeing it in theaters, I came home and Phantom Menace was on TV, so I saw Phantom Menace immediately after watching Attack of the Clones.
Oh, nice.
And the funny thing is that's not the only time that happened to me. That also happened to me with Harry Potter. I saw the second movie first, went home, the first movie was on TV.
Okay. Yeah, for me, I was born in the 80s, so I'm a child of the 80s. So I just barely missed the Return of the Jedi. So I probably the first movie was actually the Phantom Menace for me that I saw in theaters, but actually have gone back and seen all the original trilogy in theaters. I started out when they releasing them in 3D, but if I remember right, I don't know if all of them got released in 3D. Maybe Return of the Jedi possibly didn't, but I know one way or another I've seen them all on the big screen. So yeah. So
unfortunately, I haven't seen the original trilogy on the big screen, but I still love it. Like a lot of other Star Wars fans, Empire is my favorite Star Wars movie. But yeah, Padme and Leia, just because they're just such strong women, and just to have like that female character that you can like attach to, like see yourself in. So yeah, those two were it for me.
Awesome. Yeah. I think Leia definitely has my favorite music from all Star Wars. I love Leia's theme. That's like awesome, and like I always get like goosebumps when I hear that. So, but probably my favorite characters for number one, my favorite definitely Darth Maul. So like I'm
that's
like
a good one.
I'm like all about the dark side there, and then my second favorite is definitely Baby Yoda because I freaking love that Baby Yoda. That Baby Yoda is like everything to me. Like literally every single time that Baby Yoda's on screen, and I know he's not really Baby Yoda, but that's the closest thing. That's what I'm gonna call him.
He's Baby Yoda.
Yeah, that's
they're never gonna make the child the thing. It's always gonna be Baby Yoda.
Right. Yep.
Even when we find out what his name is, he's Baby Yoda.
Yep, exactly. Because yeah, every time I see him on screen, I can't help but just smile or like squeal or laugh or just whatever. Like it just fills me with joy. So yeah, I love me some.
And
Baby
there was
Yoda.
definitely some moments in this first episode too of seeing Baby Yoda. It's like he's back.
Yep, exactly. Actually, I wanted to share something kind of cool. So I want to show you how far my my love of Darth Maul goes. I actually dressed up as a Darth Maul for Comic-Con once, and also when The Force Awakens came out, I was working at a movie theater, so I actually dressed up as Darth Maul, and I had someone do the full makeup and everything with the horns and everything.
Oh, wow.
So, and I actually was trying to find a good picture that I could share, but the only thing I could find was actually a video. So I'm going to try to do this little share, the screen share, and I'm going to see if I can share this with you, because this is like pretty epic. So
I'm excited.
Give me one quick second. I'm going to bring it up. Let's see.
Unfortunately, I have not dressed up as any Star Wars characters, because
Oh,
I
yeah.
haven't gone to many conventions, just a few here and there. I did a Soul Eater cosplay. I played what was it, Death the Kid. I cosplayed as him.
Oh, nice. Yeah, definitely. Like, I've been to about like 5 or 6 Comic-Cons. I've never been to San Diego Comic-Con. All my Comic-Cons were like Salt Lake Comic-Con, and I went to Emerald City Comic-Con, which are actually still a pretty big events, though. They're still huge. So let's see. See it. Let's see if I can get it up here. Bear with me one quick
The
second.
only one that I went to was when I was living in Tennessee. They had a Middle Tennessee anime convention.
Okay. So yeah, so this is just off my Facebook page. You can kind of see it in the dark a little bit. Let me see if I.
Tatooine is sparsely populated. If the trace is correct, I will find them quickly, Master. At last we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi. At last we will have our revenge. Ah! Ah!
Yeah, so that's a little preview of me as Darth Maul. So yeah, so
definitely dark side over there. I'm the light side here.
Yeah, so when I did that, I actually showed up at the movie theater, and I kind of freaked out some of my coworkers. I snuck up on them because I went and saw the movie, and a couple of them saw me, but I kind of like snuck in quick, and so I went after the movie when they were getting ready to close, and I like snuck up on them when the theater was kind of dark and stuff. So yeah, definitely freaked a few people out there. but yeah, let's jump into this episode though.
Yes. So right now, here is our non-spoiler, because when we are going to spoil, we'll let you guys know, for those who haven't seen the episode, and we'll let you know, and you can leave.
Yep. Yeah, we'll definitely throw up a little spoiler alert. I got that here. So when we're going to spoil, we're not doing it yet, but I was just testing it. So, but yeah, so when this episode starts, though, so it starts out in some kind of city. I'm not sure what the city actually was. I don't know if you know what it was.
I was wondering what planet it was also, but I wanted to kind of speak on so we have Jon Favreau actually directing. He wrote this episode too, and then it has just a great cast. We got John Leguizamo, we have Amy Sedaris, we have Timothy Oliphant, who was awesome.
Yeah, so
like he did such an amazing job. I actually didn't know it was John Leguizamo until the credits, because like his practical makeup and the practical just effects that they're doing with this show, you just didn't even know that it was him. And I don't know if you recognize the voice, because I didn't even recognize his voice when I was watching it the first time.
No, so I didn't even recognize him either. I actually I have a habit of whenever I watch something, I always jump onto IMDb because I want to know who's in the cast, if there's anyone that I should watch out for. So I saw him on there, and I was like, no way, that's him. And I tried to see if I could even recognize him through the makeup, and even with the voice, that I couldn't even recognize him. That was some good acting with that voice work that he did with all the practical makeup too. He played a little Cyclops guy that looked pretty cool. Yes. So yeah, so that opening scene was actually crazy. Just action right from the get-go.
Right. It was just basically what we were missing from having to wait so long for the Mandalorian to come back. It just brought you right back into the world. And it was just like Star Wars is back.
Yep. It's back, baby. Yes. Yeah, the opening scene, you have 2 Gamorreans that are fighting in the ring. Those are warthog-looking creatures. And so he like comes into this building. He like knocks on the door and they said, "Are you ready for the fight?" And you go in and you see him in like a boxing ring kind of thing. But you know they're fighting to the death. They have their battle axes. They're just going at it with their battle axes, and then he meets the character played by John Leguizamo, which I think
Gore Koresh.
Yeah, that's right, Gore Koresh. So yeah, and he's trying to find. I think that he's just trying to track down more of his own kind. So
right.
Yeah,
and
so
this is what we see in the trailer already. So that's what, for anyone who's like, oh no, you guys are spoiling already. This is in the trailer.
It's all in the trailer. Yep. So he just kind of tells him where he can go to find this other Mandalorian, and of course, Baby Yoda. He's right there along with him for the journey. I wasn't sure if he was going to be with Baby Yoda the whole entire time, but he was, at least for this episode. So
and what was funny too is, even though how many times I watched that trailer with Baby Yoda just noping out of that situation, it was still hilarious to watch. Even in the episode, was just Baby Yoda's like, I'm gonna press this and nope and close the thing and just like nope.
Yeah, you definitely see a lot of moments where like Baby Yoda's kind of just like hiding out behind some things and like quivering and like that kind of thing. So I think eventually we're gonna see his like more of Baby Yoda using the Force and stuff too. But like
hopefully,
yes, hopefully. So but yeah. So I don't know if you consider it a spoiler to say where he went to find him, or do we want to?
We can wait for that for the spoiler part.
Okay.
Yeah. I will say though, with Amy Sedaris, because I don't know how you felt watching season 1, but that episode 5 of season 1 where they were going to Tatooine, goes with Amy Sedaris, goes, she kind of like was an annoying character to me. I didn't like her, and I love her as an actress. I love her as a comedian, but in The Mandalorian first season, I was like, well, for whatever reason, I didn't like her character, and so watching it in this episode, I was like, okay, she's way less annoying this time. She's actually a pretty good character this time. So I was glad with that character growth. And I was like, okay, keep going this way, which I know episode 5 was probably like the least favorite episode of most people who were fans of The Mandalorian, because that was the one where you had, what's the name of that kid?
Oh yeah, the Heyman.
Yeah, the Heyman.
Yep. Yep.
Those, and
I forget his name, but yeah. Yeah, because definitely people who saw the episode from season 1 that Amy Sedaris in it will kind of get an idea of where they went to go find the other Mandalorian. But like for me, honestly, like I never really minded Amy Sedaris. Like a lot of people found her annoying in season 1, but for me, like I didn't really mind her. I didn't love her, but like I didn't really mind her. Like but I kind of thought the rest of the episode was a little annoying to me, but the one particular episode. But I actually didn't mind Amy Sedaris. I don't know why, but like I see why people kind of like got a little annoyed by her.
So do you want to go into spoiler talk so that way we can not accidentally spoil anything in our non-spoiler talk?
Yeah, because pretty much anything else you could say about the episode is kind of a spoiler. I mean, that's really all we can really say. I mean, there's just a lot of action. I'll just say that it's action packed, and it's definitely, it's got a lot of Baby Yoda in it, and so yeah. But I mean, saying any more than that might put into spoiler territory. So we'll just give you a 5 count. So we're gonna go into spoilers, and so just turn it off if you don't want to hear it. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right,
spoiler
so let's get into
time.
it. Yeah, it's spoiler time, and when the spoilers are done, we'll take away the banner too. So, but yeah. So after the opening scene where you kind of see the Mandalorian string up that guy on like a light post and leave him hanging there, then next thing you see him go to Tatooine. So we're back to Tatooine, which is cool. Yeah,
and at first I was like, okay, we're going back to another Tatooine again. This is a planet we know, because one thing I enjoyed about The Mandalorian is kind of like, oh, we're seeing new stuff.
Right.
And even though we did have that one episode of Tatooine last season, but then like throughout the whole episode, I was just so happy with everything that was happening, and I was like so enjoyed and like so entertained that I was like, I don't even care that we're in the same place again.
No, me neither. Because I think that like out of like anything Star Wars has ever made. My favorite is always going to be the Return of the Jedi, because I just love Ewoks. Like I love that whole like a battle on the moon of Endor. But probably number two is the Mandalorian, and like I just love everything that they're have been doing with it. Like I think that like Jon Favreau has been the perfect person to run this whole part of Star Wars. Like he's doing an amazing job
with Dave Filoni.
Yeah, with Dave Filoni. So that definitely helps, because Dave Filoni, he's a master storyteller. I mean, I love what he did with all the animated series. So yeah, and yeah, so he so he goes to Mandalorian, and they're telling him all the different towns that he could possibly check for this Mandalorian. They go to one that's called Mos Pelagos, is what it is. So you have Mos Eisley. I can't remember the name of the third town, but this one's Mos Pelego where he goes. And so he goes and he actually ends up running.
Mos Pelgo, I think. Mos Pelgo.
Yeah. Mos Pelgo. That's right. I want to get it right. I don't want to mispronounce it. I don't want the Star Wars fans screaming at me. But yeah, so that's where he went into Timothy Oliphant. And when I saw him, I'm like, oh, he's going to be playing a Mandalorian. That's pretty cool. But the first thing that you see, he just takes his helmet right off. And I'm just kind of like, oh, well, like, what's going on? He's going to remove the helmet. Like, that's kind of dumb. But then you find out he's actually not a Mandalorian. He made a deal with the Jawas to actually get the Mandalorian. So, the Mandalorian armor. And so he has the armor, but he's not actually a Mandalorian. So I'm like, okay, like that's actually understandable. So,
and then for those who have read kind of like other things, I haven't read them yet, but the Aftermath trilogy actually has this character Cobb Vanth in it, and you find out kind of that's why people were fighting over, was that really Boba Fett with Meng Na Wen's character in episode 5 of last season. Is the people were going, is that Boba Fett or is that Cobb Vanth? Because Cobb Vanth ended up getting Boba Fett's armor, as we see in the show, and so I think he has Freetown is the one that he's like the cop, the warden, the marshal, as he is in the show kind of thing, and so.
Yep, they call him the marshal. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was kind of cool to see. Goes, okay, I knew this from just like knowing about these books. I haven't read them yet. I own them, and I haven't read them yet. And so it was kind of cool, like that they're actually bringing out the other things into it. And if like the rumors are true of what's going on further in the season, we're gonna get stuff from Clone Wars. We're gonna get stuff from Rebels. We're gonna get. So it was kind of cool that they brought something in from the books into a show.
Yeah. Yep, and I have high hopes of hopefully seeing characters from Rebels, characters from the Clone Wars for sure. Like that'd be awesome. But yeah, Aftermath is a book that's pretty high on my list to read. I just I finished about a month or two ago. I finished reading Lords of the Sith, which was an awesome book. So Aftermath.
I haven't read that yet.
Yeah, that was awesome. If anyone who's into the dark side, you find out some incredible things that like the dark side does, especially involving the Force. That's like will blow your mind. That you hope that someday you get to see it on screen. So hopefully, but yeah, but then Aftermath and also anything from Claudia Gray. Those are on my list too. So
Claudia Gray is so good.
Yep. So yeah, Lost Stars. That might be the next one, either that or Aftermath. It's a toss up. I gotta make a choice, but.
And so with that though, my first question then was, before we saw the end of the episode, and even with seeing the end of the episode, you're like, what happened to Boba Fett? How did Cobb Vanth end up getting his armor? How did that? Because so we see in the flashback, like he got it from the Jawas, but how did the Jawas get the armor from Boba Fett? And so, and also, how did he escape the Sarlacc pit? So you got all of these questions that we'll probably see the answer to. Maybe if it's not in the show, we might see it like in a comic or a book or something. But that's like, we definitively know that he's alive now. So that's really, really cool. Unless he's another clone, which is possible, but who knows? I think it's Boba Fett. I think it is Boba Fett. Yeah. And like my second question there too is, what happened to Ming-Na Wen's character? Because if it is Timothy Oliphant in the Boba Fett armor, where we saw the Spurs, we heard the Boba Fett music coming up. Goes, then what happened to her? Where is she?
Right, and I kind of think maybe she was the character, like at the end of the Hey Mando episode, that we see come up to the kid and like kind of like give him a hand to try and help him up. Like I kind of felt maybe that was Ming Na Wen, but I don't know. We never saw for sure, so I guess we have yet to find out.
Right.
Yep. Yeah. So when the Mandalorian, when he sees Timothy Olyphant's character, when he sees him with the armor, I mean, naturally he wants it back because he finds out he's not an actual Mandalorian. So he thinks by right, like that's something that actually belongs to the Mandalorian people. So like he wants it back. And
I love that he didn't even ask. He was just like, "Give me."
Yeah. Right. Yeah. He's like, "That's mine. Just give it back." All right. Yeah. And so they work out this deal because they find out that I don't even know the name of the giant creature, but the town is being terrorized pretty much by this giant sandworm in it.
By the crate dragon.
Yeah, crate dragon. There you go. Yeah, it's like got some vibes of
Dune, the sandworm from Dune. Yeah.
Yep, Dune for sure, and then a little bit of Tremors too, a little bit in there. So yeah, so he makes a deal with the Mandalorian that if he can help him kill the crate dragon, then he's gonna give him back the armor if he can do that. So they have this whole plan to go out to where the crate dragon lives because I want to get the character right. Cobb Vanth, he knows where the crate dragon lives, and so he knows where the lair is. So they go out there and they actually end up enlisting the help of the Sand People, and they help him.
Of the Tusken Raiders, yeah.
Yep. Yep. So they help him go out to try and destroy the crate dragon. They actually start by trying to lure him in with a giant bantha, and it kind of backfires. That they put a little bantha out there as bait, and then instead of going after the bantha, it actually eats one of the Tusken Raiders. So they're like, okay, we're gonna need to try something else. We're gonna need to get some help here. So I really like how the Mandalorian, he just kind of springs it on and just says, well, I enlisted the help of your entire town. So
I volunteered your town, yeah.
I volunteered your town, so that's what's gonna happen. And so he's like, okay, then I guess we're doing that now. Sure. And so very reluctantly, the people from the town, they eventually do come to help, and with the help of the Tusken Raiders, the people from the town, and a lot of explosives, they're able to come up with this plan of attack to kind of go after the creature. So there's just a lot of action. I mean, they're trying to lure it out, and lure it out once, and then they realize that what they're doing isn't quite working. So it starts to go back to its cave, and then it starts coming back out because they start shooting him. And then you see both of the Mandalorian and Cobb Vanth, they both have their jetpacks on, so they take it to the top of this mountain, and you see the crate dragon at the top of the mountain just kind of blast through the mountain, and so there's this whole shootout where they're trying to shoot it from there, and they eventually lure it down to where they have all the explosives that can really like be able to attack it the way that they really need to be able to kill this thing. But they're having a tough time, but yeah, they eventually get it done.
And part of it was reminding, and now I'm like forgetting his name for a second, but in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, that very opening scene where like Groot is dancing around, but then they're fighting that like giant beast, and what's Dave Bautista's character? What's his name?
Drax the Destroyer?
Drax, yes. Yeah. Where Drax kind of like goes inside and tries to destroy it from the inside, and they're like, that's not how that works. But then apparently, but it works in Star Wars.
Right, yeah. You have to see the Mandalorian pull that off. So yeah, that was a cool moment. Yeah, and I like how they have a little bit of history too. They have a whole story about like the miners that come in. I don't know exactly. Like I haven't really heard of those.
Yeah, the mining collective goes. Yeah. The name rings a bell, but I can't like really place it, and so it's probably in a book or a comic somewhere, or it could even be in the Legends.
Oh yeah,
it's possible that's where I heard it. Because, but what was very interesting, and I wonder if we'll see more flashbacks going on further in this season, because we actually get to see because when the second Death Star explodes, and what is it like on Mos Pel. Let me make sure I'm saying that name correctly. Mos Pelga. There we go.
Yep.
Mos Pelga.
Yeah.
And so we kind of see, and you see this in Bloodlines, and you see this in some of the other books and comics, is that because it wasn't just dancing with Ewoks after that second Death Star blew up.
Yep, right.
There was so I was very intrigued to see that, and it was very cool to actually see like how it was there on Tatooine, and it's not even just like Mos Eisley, which we know, which I think what was very brilliant about taking it to Tatooine, but taking it to a new city that we don't know. So
Right.
it was like, because if it was in Mos Eisley, we know so much about Mos Eisley. It was really cool to see it in a different city and kind of see what ended up happening there. So I really enjoyed the flashback, and I hope that we might see a few more flashbacks. We might see like how things ended up happening and why the the Star Wars universe is where it is at that moment in time.
Right. Yeah, I really like too. Like when they showed the flashback, you see a little hologram of like almost like a scene from Episode 4. You see that them like celebrating when the second Death Star blew up, and so you get to see just a little bit of like how it connects that way, and then also. With the mining collective, you actually see it that when the mining collective came in, they actually came in to enslave all the people there. So Timothy Oliphant's character Cobb Vanth, he comes in to essentially save them because he gets the Mandalorian armor. He's able to come up with a pretty good plan of attack that you actually get to see played out in the episode, and then you see how he kind of saves them from the mining collective and from slavery. So they nickname him the Marshal, and he's kind of like the sheriff of this town in a way. So yeah, so it was pretty cool to see.
And I want to make sure that I'm saying this correctly, so I'm going to Google it. But
right.
with the Mandalorian goes, what we've seen in Clone Wars and Rebels is that they do take their hats off, and so this is a different sect of Mandalores, like of that Mandalorians that are just like, nope, we're gonna keep our hats on and everything.
Right.
So
the helmets on, yeah. Yep. Yeah, and
I think what yeah. You keep going.
Oh, yeah. No,
I want to make sure
good.
that
yeah, so like for me, like I kind of like seeing them keep their helmets on, but I mean, if it kind of fits into the lore, if they have different like groups or different sections of the Mandalorian that actually do take them off, then if they have a way to kind of seamlessly play into that, I'd be okay with that. And like I know they got to eat sometimes, so they got to have their helmets off sometimes.
Which
but
we saw in Episode 4 of last season.
Yeah.
Death Watch. Because I wanted to make sure I was saying it correctly, because I was thinking Death Watch, but I wanted to make sure that. So that was what we saw in Clone Wars, is that there's that certain form of Mandalorians that kind of like was against the other Mandalorians, against like
Right.
Bo-Katan, and so and then we learn in season 1, I think it was saying that the ones who saved Din Djarin were Death Watch, and so they kind of have like that different things. So I wonder if like when he meets, maybe meeting Bo-Katan, maybe meeting any of the other Mandalorians that do take their helmets off, how is he going to act?
Right. Yeah. Like he might be like kind of caught off guard a little bit by that.
Right.
But you do see like, so like even in Star Wars Rebels, you have Sabine, and she takes her helmet off all the time. So I mean,
and her helmet is all painted and everything. So I was like, I kind of really want to see Din Djarin meet Sabine and see like her painted Mandalorian armor, and just see how he reacts to that.
Yeah, they got to do that. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, one of the things though that I just love about the Mandalorian series as a whole, just all the beautiful shots that they have. Like they have so many really cool shots and really cool scenes. Like the the like camera work is just amazing. Like it just looks like a work of art. Like I just love that about it.
And you have just like these beautiful scenes, and it makes you like think that Tatooine is beautiful too.
Yeah, right.
Whereas like you think of Anakin from Attack of the Clones, where it was like it's sandy, it goes, I don't like sand kind of thing. But then you see something, of course, get everywhere. But then you see like these beautiful landscapes with the music that is just awesome. It's just such good music. And you're just like, why'd you hate this place so much? It's so pretty.
Yeah, and I want to. Can't remember the composer's first name, but it's Goranson. I can't remember the first name. Sorry, but like
Ludwig. I think it's Ludwig,
yeah.
but don't quote me. Star Wars fans, don't get angry at me if I'm wrong.
Right. Yeah, sorry. Like me, especially, I might end up butchering a lot of these names. I'm going to try to get them right the best I can. But like, I watched one of the behind the scenes episode that they had that was all about the music, and that was actually really cool to see it how he created all the music for the Mandalorian. Like he did some pretty unique things, and it showed how he was doing it going forward, like how he's going to approach it with like quarantine and everything too, having to do a lot of stuff remotely and stuff. Like it's actually pretty cool to see, like he. Because he incorporates a lot of like classic Star Wars things, but also a lot of modern like sounds and instruments and things like that.
I always love when you get something that like themes that you know and music, and then you see someone do a variation on it.
Yeah.
And so it's always very interesting because it's like I just love hearing that stuff. It makes my music nerdy brain really happy.
Yep. Same here. Yep. Yeah, and one of the things that I also I love seeing are the speeder bike scenes. So like I just love like seeing them just like zoom off into the desert. And one of my favorite scenes when you see a baby Yoda when they're just zooming through the
ears.
Desert with the ears kind of in the wind. Which reminds me of that. I don't know if you ever seen that Geico commercial with the pig with his head out the window. It kind of reminded me of that. Yeah. So, but yeah, and also I liked Cobb Vanth's speeder that was kind of like it was like part of pod racer. So like it was like one side of a pod racer that looked pretty cool. So
what was kind of funny is like you have like you have Din Djarin like just going, and then you see Cobb Vanth going out in front of him. So like it kind of like gave you that like, nope, I'm in front, even though Cobb Vanth is the one that's showing him where to go. It was kind of funny because you see the Mandalorian just scooting and then Cobb Vanth coming behind him.
They seem kind of competing.
Right. It gave you that feeling of that they were competing, even if they weren't.
Yeah, it's like mine's bigger than yours. Come on, because
right.
You like see the Mandalorian with like an old beat up speeder, whatever he could get his hands on, and then he comes on with this huge thing with a giant like jet turbine engine, you know. So
right.
Yeah,
okay.
but
I think the biggest thing though to talk about though is Boba Fett at the end. So what do you think is going to happen going forward with Boba Fett? If it is Boba Fett.
Yeah, I'm not totally sure. Like, I thought that the armor looked pretty similar to Boba Fett. So I wonder if they're going to incorporate that. But I'm still not 100% sure. I feel like I kind of need a confirmation that actually is Boba Fett. But I mean,
it is tomorrow morning. So he's either Boba Fett or he's a clone.
Right. Yeah. So I think we'll eventually see like a pretty big tie-in, I think, because I mean it is the Mandalorian. I mean, how are you gonna do a Mandalorian series without tying in Boba Fett in some way or another, you know? Yep. So
it was this series just doing it again, goes having something show up at the very end of episode 1.
Yeah, at the very end. And when I saw him too, I had to kind of take a double take. I'm like, wait a second, is that like him without the armor or something? I'm like, what the heck?
And he kind of like looked like he was wearing like the clothes of a Tusken Raider without like the mask and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they always like to have the little tease so they can get you hooked and pull you in for that next episode, you know.
So do you think next episode we're gonna be still on Tatooine and maybe see like Ming-Na Wen, or maybe see more Boba Fett next episode, or do you think that we're gonna go off and then come back to Tatooine later on in the series?
I really hope that actually see more Tatooine, just because I kind of like the idea of just having it be like one cohesive story from beginning to end, versus like he's on this planet now. The next episode he's on another planet, and it's kind of like it's all connected, but it's almost like they're like kind of individual episodes, kind of, you know, like it's more serialized. So for me, I just like it where you see one cohesive story that kind of like leaves off right where the last episode left off, and you just jump back into it. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Because I'm thinking that we might be on Tatooine next episode, but with because I kind of like this whole episodic thing because it's a little different.
It is a little bit, but yeah, like I kind of hope we get to see him in the city too, because I like the whole kind of underground. That gave me a lot of vibes of like Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, just like a lot of the like underground kind of gangster like type things you get to see, and like seeing it set in the city too. Like I feel like we didn't get really like a lot of big city stuff. Like even like a Cloud City, I'd be like all right for that too. Just like
going to Coruscant or something like that.
Yeah, right. So I mean, but like I'm just so happy with everything that they're doing that like I almost kind of don't even care where they go. I mean, I already have faith that like I have loved everything so far. So I mean, I already know it's going to be good. But if there's anything that I want to see, to like definitely see some kind of like stuff in the city, kind of some underground stuff. And then I also wonder too, are we ever going to see like more a Baby Yoda species? Like, is he ever going to be returned to his species, or are we never going to see that? Or like, what do you think?
I don't think it's going to happen this season. And if it does, it's the very, very last episode and the very, very end of the last episode.
Right. Yeah. So I guess we'll wait and see. Yeah.
Right.
Who knows? But
well, we hope that you guys enjoyed the show and our recap. Because we're going to be back doing the recaps for each episode. So I hope you guys enjoy. Like the like button. Goes follow us. On Guest Media Buddies Network, and so hopefully you enjoy and follow us and keep going with us here.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and we're gonna be trying to put these out probably within like roughly 24 to 48 hours after the episode airs. So just watch for that. We're gonna try and have some announcements of when the episodes are actually gonna be. So definitely watch for that. And yeah, for our Star Wars recap spoilers, I'm gonna actually we're not doing any spoilers now. I'll throw that off of there. But yeah, I've been Jordan the Hutt, and you can find me on my YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel called Movie Hero, where right now we have a show that's called Tier Ranker Fights, where we just take all our favorite things and we just rank them on scale like A, B, C, D, E, and we rank them. So right now we're doing some we're ranking video games, the greatest video games of all time. So we actually have a video that's going to be going live tomorrow at 8 a.m. Pacific time. So we did a part 1, and we did realize that there are so many awesome video games that like we couldn't even fit it into one episode. So we broke it into 2 episodes. So we got part 2 coming at 8 a.m. over on the Movie Hero channel. And you can see our social media up at the top. And you can find me also at facebook.com/Jordan Anderson21. I'm more so on Facebook versus Twitter and Instagram. I don't do a lot of Twitter and Instagram, so I just kind of promote my YouTube and Facebook. But Saul, where can the people find you?
As well, I'll be doing some stuff on the Pop Culture Universe YouTube channel, so you can see me there. I'm kind of like a recurring guest over there, so I'm going to be doing a lot of cool things over there in that YouTube channel. So you can follow me at SoulGovin on Twitter and at soul.k.govin on Instagram.
All right, awesome. So as always, this has been the premiere episode for season 2 recap, and as always, stay sweaty.
Bye, everyone.